Imagine growing up in one of the poorest neighborhoods in Argentina, where crime and violence are a daily reality. Now picture yourself rising from those humble beginnings to become one of the most sought-after footballers in the world. That's the incredible story of Carlos Tevez, a man who refused to let his circumstances define him. Carlos Tevez's journey began in Fuerte Apache, a notorious slum in Buenos Aires. But even amidst the poverty and hardship, his talent and passion for football shone through. With every kick of the ball, he was determined to rewrite his destiny. In this video, we'll take you through the key moments that shaped Tevez's career, from his explosive start at Boca Juniors to his groundbreaking moves to Corinthians, West Ham, Manchester United and Manchester City. You'll witness the challenges he faced, the controversies he overcame, and the unwavering spirit that made him a legend. Carlos Tevez, a young Argentine kid with a fiery passion for football, catching the eye of Boca Juniors. It's like something out of a movie, right? But here's the thing, Tevez's rise to stardom was anything but smooth sailing. Let's rewind to one of the most iconic moments of his early career. Tevez scores a crucial goal against Boca's arch-rivals River Plate in a Copa Libertadores semi-final. But he doesn't just celebrate, he pulls out a provocative chicken dance, mocking the River fans. Talk about making a statement. Fast forward a bit and Tevez is tearing it up at Corinthians in Brazil. He's scoring goals left and right, helping the club clinch their 4th Brasileirão championship. He's even named the best player in South America for the 3rd time in a row. Sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? But here's where the plot thickens. Despite his success, Tevez ends up falling out with the hardcore Corinthians fans. It gets so bad that he starts fearing for his safety and his family's well-being. Can you imagine being in that position? Having to choose between your passion and your loved one's security. So, Tevez makes a shocking move to West Ham United alongside his compatriot Javier Mascherano. But this transfer is far from straightforward. It's mired in controversy, with third-party ownership issues that would later be cracked down on by the Premier League. Talk about a baptism by fire into English football. And if you thought that was rough, wait until you hear about Tevez's initial struggles at West Ham. He's not scoring, he's butting heads with the manager, Alan Pardew. It's like everything that could go wrong, does go wrong. But just when you think all hope is lost, in steps Alan Kirbishley. Under his guidance, Tevez finds his form and becomes the hero West Ham needs, scoring the goal that keeps them up on the final day of the season. But his story doesn't end there. Tevez's time at West Ham was just the beginning of a rollercoaster ride through English football. From becoming a fan favourite at Manchester United to his shocking transfer to their bitter rivals, Manchester City, Tevez's career is filled with twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And we haven't even touched on his emotional return to Boca Juniors. So, keep watching, because the best is yet to come in the incredible tale of Carlos Tevez. You thought Tevez's journey was wild before? Just wait until you hear about his time at the top of the football world. Tevez donning the famous red jersey of Manchester United, lifting trophy after trophy. In his very first season with the Red Devils, he's already got a Premier League title and a Champions League winner's medal around his neck. And get this, he becomes the first Argentine player to win the Copa Libertadores, Intercontinental Cup and Champions League. Talk about a hat-trick of achievements. But here's the thing about being at the top. There's always someone waiting to knock you down. In his second season at United, Tevez finds himself slipping down the pecking order. Suddenly, he's not the main man anymore, and his relationship with Sir Alex Ferguson starts to strain. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash. You know it's not going to end well. And then, the unthinkable happens. Tevez makes a move that shocks the football world. He crosses the Manchester divide and joins United's bitter rivals, Manchester City. The Welcome to Manchester billboard says it all. This is a statement signing. But Tevez isn't just there to make headlines. He's there to make history. At City, Tevez is on fire. He's banging in goals left, right, and centre, topping the Premier League scoring charts. He's even handed the captain's armband, leading City to their first major trophy in 35 years, the 2011 FA Cup. It's like he's got a point to prove, and he's doing it in style. But even at the peak of his powers, Tevez can't seem to escape controversy. There are transfer requests, clashes with management. It's never a dull moment with this guy. Yet somehow, when he steps onto the pitch, all that noise fades away. It's just Tevez, the ball, and the back of the net. Tevez signed a 3-year contract with Juventus on June 26, 2013, for a reported £12 million. Carlos Tevez played for Juventus from 2013 to 2015. During 2013 to 2014, he ended the season as Juventus' top goal scorer, with 21 goals in all competitions, and was named the team's Player of the Season. He was the third highest goal scorer in Serie A with 19 goals, as Juventus won their 30th Scudetto. He was outstanding in the following season. Tevez ended the Serie A season with 20 goals, helping Juventus to a fourth consecutive Scudetto. He was in the starting lineup in the 2015 Champions League final as Juventus was defeated 3-1 by Barcelona at Berlin's Olympiastadion. Fast forward a few years, and Tevez is back where it all began, Boca Juniors. The prodigal son returns, and he's welcomed with open arms. And wouldn't you know it, he helps them clinch the Argentine Primera Division title, just like old times. His time at Manchester United and Manchester City saw him reach the peak of his powers, but it also revealed the complex character behind the player. And as he walked back through the doors of Boca Juniors, you couldn't help but feel that, in some ways, he'd never really left. But Tevez's story isn't just about what happened on the pitch. No, to truly understand the man behind the legend, you've got to look at the relationships that shaped him, the coaches who moulded him, the teammates who stood by him, and the family that kept him grounded. In the next chapter of our tale, we'll dive into the personal side of Carlos Tevez, exploring the conflicts, the kinships, and the community he built along the way. Alright folks, we've seen Tevez conquer the football world, but what about the man behind the jersey? Let's take a peek into his life off the pitch, because trust me, it's just as fascinating as his on-field heroics. First off, let's talk about his relationship with coaches. It's no secret that Tevez had his fair share of clashes, especially with the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson and Roberto Mancini. But here's the thing, even when tensions were high, Tevez never lost sight of what really mattered, his love for the game. Sure, he might have butted heads with Ferguson at Manchester United, but he still gave his all on the pitch. And yeah, he and Mancini had their moments at Manchester City. But when push came to shove, Tevez always put the team first. But it wasn't all drama and conflict. Tevez also had a knack for inspiring and mentoring his teammates. He led by example, showing what it means to work your socks off day in and day out. His relentless work ethic and never say die attitude rubbed off on those around him, making him a true leader in every sense of the word. And then there's Tevez's impact beyond the stadium walls. This is a guy who never forgot his roots, who always remembered the community that raised him. During his time at Manchester City, he became a beloved figure, not just for his goals, but for his genuine connection with the fans. He was the people's player, the one who understood what it meant to come from nothing and make something of yourself. But through it all, he remained true to himself, true to his roots. He never forgot where he came from, and he never stopped fighting for what he believed in. So, when Tevez finally hung up his boots, he left behind a legacy that went far beyond his goals and trophies. He showed us that football is about more than just winning. It's about heart, about passion, about never giving up on your dreams. He inspired countless kids from tough backgrounds to believe in themselves, to fight for a better life. When you look back at his career, it's hard not to be impressed by the sheer magnitude of his achievements. This is a guy who won titles with every club he played for, from Boca Juniors to Manchester United to Manchester City. He was the driving force behind some of the most successful teams of his era, the player who always seemed to come up with the big goals when it mattered most. But Tevez's impact goes beyond just the trophies and the accolades. He's a player who captured the hearts of fans wherever he went, a true people's champion who never forgot his roots. Even now, years after his retirement, he's still revered as a legend in Argentina, England and beyond. Experts and pundits alike recognise him as one of the greatest strikers of his generation, a player who combined skill, tenacity, and an unbreakable spirit to achieve things that seemed impossible. In the end, that's what makes Tevez's story so special. It's a tale of a kid from the barrio who refused to let anything stand in his way. He overcame poverty, adversity, and countless obstacles to become one of the most iconic footballers of his time. And along the way, he left an indelible mark on the sport, inspiring countless young players to chase their dreams, no matter how difficult the path may seem. Carlos Tevez may have retired, but his legacy will live on forever.